You know what, guys? We are going to stay on the art theme right now because a local artist, someone who has her roots here on island, recently participated in a Honolulu festival celebrating Micronesian culture. And she is a gifted artist herself. I've known her parents for many years, Art and Serena Mariano. But we have Aubrey Mariano here. Aubrey, Hafaday, good morning.
Half a day, Jason. Half a day. Good morning. Thank you
Uh,
for having me.
so good to see you. So, you featured your art exhibit, Daughters of Micronesia and everything. And obviously, there's a lot of that's a lot of different cultures, a lot of tradition, a lot of history, and also a lot of pride. So, maybe tell me a little bit about the event and how you went about, setting up your exhibit.
Sure. So it wasn't my exhibit. Casey Bijado. I'm not sure if you know of the late and great Mr. Chris Bijado. He was
Sure,
my
sure.
uncle that
Very
worked
good friend
for
of
a
ours.
restaurant. Yes. So Casey is the daughter of Uncle Chris Bijado, and she was the curator of the exhibit. She works with the Bishop Museum, and so the event itself was the Celebrate Micronesia Festival, which took place at the Bishop Museum here in Honolulu. And Casey was the curator of the Daughters of Micronesia exhibit. And it just so happened that she had shared an appreciation for my art, particularly the pieces that I had made using traditional Chamorro symbols and traditional Micronesian symbols. So she reached out to me and asked if I would participate alongside not only other female Chamorro artists from Guam, such as Arissa Barcinas, and Eliana Koshibo, who's actually from Palau and Pohnpei, but she graduated from Academy, but many other beautiful, intelligent, talented Chamorro, or not just Chamorro, but Micronesian artists as well.
Okay. How was the obviously you have Guam in your heart and you want to go over there and represent like our people and our culture and everything, but these exhibits are so wonderful because it's not a competition at all. I mean, it's a celebration of diversity and the things that we all have in common, and yet the things that make us different. So,
Yes.
how was Guam represented there overall, and what did it mean to you to kind of be like an ambassador of who we are, and to bring the 671 out to the 808?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think Guam was very well represented. I mean, the head of the festival was Dr. Mary Perez Hattori, who is an incredibly gifted and well-known professor out here at UH. And we had poets from Guam, and a couple of Arissa did a weaving piece for the exhibit where she wove with it looked like coconut leaves, a couple of azuzu coming out of their shells. So that was very exciting. And then Eliana Koshiba, she's actually Palauan, so she was able to exhibit. She made a beautiful painting of a traditional Palauan woman in her wear for the post-birth ceremony that I think we've all kind of seen.
Oh, for the hot
Where they
bath.
Yes, for the hot
Yes.
bath. Yes. So Guam was very well represented. We actually had my good friend Heather Garrido, who is getting her master's in Pacific Island Study, doing weaving demonstrations alongside Arissa at their own weaving booth. So it was very fun. I mean, we got to have some of our friends who we've met out here. I got to teach them a centipede. That's where my weaving knowledge stops. And then I actually got to learn how to weave my first katupat. So that was a lot of fun as well.
I could never get that. The katupa, I mean, it's so small, and obviously, like, it's something that our people use to preserve rice and everything. It's so hard to get right. I've tried that at least a
Well,
dozen times over the years.
I did a couple and I was very excited, but Heather made sure and she sat me down and she said, okay, well, you're going to do it a few more times before we leave. Otherwise, you're going to forget. And so I think I've got it down at this point. We'll see. I sent pictures to my family and they're all very excited. I said, next time I'm home, we can weave some ketupat at hinapsan and maybe we'll try cooking it in coconut milk or
I don't know if your
something.
dad and I ever tried like making a katupak when we were playing volleyball together for Piva, but maybe when we get together and celebrate Old Timers Day, we can try that.
Maybe I can, if I remember, hopefully I'll be able to teach him.
There you go. But Aubrey, and the medium that you chose to work in with this is you were capturing through ceramics. You were doing some of the Chamorro, Ipao, and the Latte period pieces. So, how is working with ceramics as an artist and everything like that, and what opportunities does it present to you, as well as like some of the challenges?
Yes, so ceramics, I've experimented with many different mediums throughout my short lifetime. I used to shoot with Expression Studio. I did photography for a while, but ceramics has by far been the most therapeutic and most healing medium I've ever worked with. I'd say the aspect that I love most about ceramics is how it really teaches you to just release and let go, because I mean, you can work as hard as you'd like to improve your skills, but there are so many steps in the process when it comes to ceramics where a piece can go completely awry. You can have this idea in your head, and by the end, maybe you have a happy accident, or maybe you have something that is just a good lesson. You get to toss it aside and try with the next one. And there's a joke within the ceramics community that you can, you have an idea, you have a plan, you learn as much as you can to try and execute a piece, and then you put it in the kiln and you leave it up to the kiln gods, because sometimes some of the things that come out of it, you're like, wow, how did this happen? But all right, happy accident, or let's try again. And so that's one of the things that I appreciate most about ceramics, is that quality of just having to release. And you can of course you can attempt to learn and improve on your technique, which is what I've been doing for the past 2 years since I started. But there's just some aspect of surrender involved in ceramics, which I really love.
All right. Well, Aubrey, we're going to go do some research and find out who the patron saint of making sure your ceramic project is done in an effective way. But can you let people know, before I let you go, where they can find you on social media? Yeah. Can you let people know where they can find you on social media before we let you go?
Oh, sure. So I just recently started my ceramics Instagram. I go by Sagua Ceramics. So that's SAGUA. And you can find me there. And then my personal Instagram is ay.mariano.
All right. Well, Aubrey Mariano, thank you so much for sharing your talent and your passion for representing Guam, and great job.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a great day.
All right. Likewise. And stay safe out there. All right. We are going to take a break, everybody. More of The Link awaits you after this break.
Right on.
Join us